Hey everybody, what is happening? Alright, we just gotta get the game audio on. I think we're good to go. I can hear this, but you can't, and that's unfortunate. Let me see. How do I change the properties on this again? Oh, there we go. It's been a while since I streamed, in case you couldn't tell. Let's see. Sound settings, okay. There we go, that should be better. Oh, hey! How's everybody? Can you hear me okay? Alrighty. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I'll just do the Crash Bandicoot sound effects myself. That'd be way better. Cool. So, I was hoping to have a video out today, but I got kind of sick this week. And it turns out recording audio when you're quite unwell is very difficult. So, it's a little bit behind schedule, but it's moving along. So I said in the meantime, now that I'm feeling a little bit better today, I might as well do a little stream since it's been a while since I did that. So today we're going to play some Crash Bandicoot. Seeing as this is a game that we're not really ever going to get a chance to really cover on the channel, or at least I think it's been covered well enough by many other people. There's probably no reason for me to do a video on Crash Bandicoot, but I still really like Crash Bandicoot. Awesome. Huge delay. Awesome. Well, we'll see. We'll see. My webcam is kind of trash though. I haven't been able to use this YouTube money to purchase something good yet. All my hardcore YouTube money. Okay. So yeah, so it's been a while since I played through Crash Bandicoot. It's an old favorite of mine, as I'd imagine all PS1 people probably have a bit of fondness for this game. But I will state that this is going to be a casual playthrough, and what I mean by that is that we're not going to be getting the gems. If I skip boxes, that's okay. Don't worry about it. We're just going to have a nice, relaxing Sunday with a classic game. That's really the plan, you know? By the way, you should see this new video I'm doing. It's probably going to be my longest one yet. Well, probably not my longest one yet, but longest one for a single game. Sometimes I can't believe how much shite I can write. It's really quite bad. Okay. Yeah, so we're not taking the sad route. This is what I mean by casual playthrough. There's an easy way and a hard way, and most of the time I'm going to be taking the easy way because I'd like to go to bed on time. Exactly. Look, if you want to watch somebody be good at a video game, watch a speedrunner. They are very, very good, and I enjoy watching speedrunners play video games. See, 10 boxes. That's okay. It's not a problem. Hey, look, I added a chat box to the thing. I don't know if that's working properly. It doesn't seem to be updating correctly on the stream for me. I was like, I'll add a chat box. That'll look good. Let me see. Maybe I have to like refresh it or something. Background color. White, maybe? I'll fix it in a moment. Okay. Don't worry about the chat. I made this whole section that says chat zone for the lads. Because I was like, do you know what? The chat isn't showing up in the video. And I feel like that's an important thing if people want to watch that. Okay, maybe it's working now. You never know. Maybe just have to refresh it. I was watching somebody play through this a while ago. And I forgot kind of how hard Crash Bandicoot can be for some people. Like, people think... I used to always say Crash 1 was by far the hardest Crash game, and that was until Crash 4 came out. Now that Crash 4 is out, this is like child's play. Even though this is technically a game for kids. Oh, God. I have like 2 screens now, so I don't know which one to look at. It's on both of them. Yeah, look at this one. It's bigger. So how are we all doing this lovely... Well, it's Sunday night here. It's roughly about... Yeah, it's just about 10 o'clock now. I don't know what time it is in the rest of the world. Probably late enough. Look at that textbook. Stupid. I've had a nice week so far. I've mostly been spending time editing. Which, you know, is relaxing to me. Editing is my... It's my happy place. It's everything else about making a video is tougher. Except for playing the games. That's also pretty fun, I suppose. Yeah, I need to get a big Ken Kutaragi. And just have him in the place. Normally I'd have like a fun picture there. Look, this is what I get for adding the chat box. It kind of works. It just doesn't seem to stretch out to the point where I want it to. Let's see. How does a chat box work? So the new video is going to be on the game Fear Effect. I don't know if you guys have played Fear Effect before, but I played it for the first time this year. And I was kind of, let's just say blown away by the game in more ways than one. So I decided I had to make a video on it, as I usually do. And yeah, it's probably going to be the longest one that I've done, just because of the way that I write these videos. I don't really have a plan when I go into writing things. I just sit down and I write and I see what comes out at the other side. And in this case, a fucking long video came out. Okay. Alright, we're entering into the might possibly die part of Crash now. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, normally I wouldn't tell people about the videos. Normally I like to leave the videos as a surprise. But I gave this one away in a podcast. Some nice guys asked me on to a podcast to talk about Fear Effect, right? Because they do like it's called Back of the Rack, and it's basically a podcast about obscure games. And they're like, oh, if we ever do a PS1 game, we'll get you on. And I was like, yeah, sure. So they're like, yeah, we're going to do a podcast on Fear Effect. And I was like, oh, God. I wanted to do a video on Fear Effect. How handy is that? So I said, I'll get the Fear Effect video. I've been sitting on the footage for Fear Effect for a long time. But I said I'd do the video. Oh, God, I'm not focusing. All right. I said I'd do the video once you guys had the podcast out. So as soon as the podcast came out, I was like, all right, cool. I'll go make this video. And it's that's been my life for the past a week and a bit. And it probably would have been done by now if I didn't get a head cold. I tried to sit down to do some recording and just couldn't stop sneezing. It turns out that's not great for recording audio. Oh God, what? Why have I suddenly forgotten how to deal with this enemy? Ooh, okay. Oh God. Oh God. People are gonna think I'm a hack. A tired old hack. It's only half true. Yeah, Fear Effect is certainly different. I didn't know anything about the game before going into it, and I think that's what made it so interesting to me. But I mentioned it, and everybody who's played Fear Effect seems quite excited to see a video about Fear Effect, and I think if you haven't played Fear Effect, seeing it for the first time should be a treat. Let's just put it that way. Oh my God. This is terrible. This is awful. You know, I picked this game because I was like, oh, I've played through Crash Bandicoot so many times. This used to be a game where I'd be like, you know what, if I just want to relax, if I want to sit back and have a nice game to play in the weekend, Crash 1, like, it's not too long, it's not too hard. You can have a good time with it. And it seems that I've gotten rusty. Let's just put it that way. You know, I don't even need to kill her. Why do I do that? Alright, we're not going to die this time. I've decided. We're going to be patient. We're not going to jump into the fire. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Well, to be fair, right, I think if you're playing on stream, you're either going to be better or worse. So I'm definitely one of those people who are significantly worse when playing on stream. Oh no, bonus round. I didn't mean... I hate when you get a bonus round. I didn't mean to do it. This is why I don't play Donkey Kong Country. This could be a lot worse. Okay. God, come on. Alright, well, since I am in the bonus room, I might as well do it properly. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Yeah, not bad. Oh yeah, I love that, like, this is the only way you can save in the game. You have to get here. Reading card directory. I didn't even want this. Oh, I should have shown off the super passer at the beginning. That's the funnest part of the game. And continue. All right. There we go. There we go. See, that's not even a hard level. I was just really bad at it for that particular time. It doesn't bode well for like the actual hard levels that we're going to get to in time. But for now, we have the most iconic of Crash style levels. All right. Alright, we're not gonna mess up on this one. I promise I will never die. Alright. My fiance is watching this downstairs, so I can't mess up. She'll leave me. That's a specific clause in our engagement. If I play Crash really badly, she can leave me at any moment in time. Which is a fair deal, really. Oh, I'm sorry, I lied about getting a gem. I guess I accidentally got one. Yeah, there's all this unnecessary saving. At least I showed you moving graffiti. I brought your point to life. Thank you. Trust me, these aren't bad yet. You can start saying well done when I get to the bad stages on the Death Island. Alright. Now, I've always just really liked something about Crash. It's just something in its simplicity. That being said, the sequels are vastly superior games. But there's still a lot of charm in the first Crash. Ooh. Yeah, it's okay. I can hear her packing her bags now as we speak. My problem with almost any platformer is that I always kind of commit to like running straight. And what I mean by that is that if there's a point, like if I mistime something, I'll almost always make the jump anyway, even though I've definitely mistimed it. I very rarely stop to assess what's happening in front of me. No, we're not getting you this time, Tana. It's a good thing about the load times, right? There's none. No, she can't have the cats. She can have one cat. One cat. Have I locked the cats out? I actually have, hold on. There's a chance that my cats may come up, and I'd like to give them the option to do so if possible, in which case I'm almost definitely going to swap the cam over from me to a cat cam. Cat cam is a vastly superior cam to Sean cam. Surveys have said. Alright, if I die against Papu, that'll be pretty embarrassing. Especially with like a I was gonna say a double Aku mask. Wow, really, it's been a while since I played this. Whoa. Holy shit. I hope this is at least good entertainment for you. Holy moly. This is bad. Alright. There we go. See, first try. Not even close, baby. You know, Super Mario World is a much tougher game, I would say. There's a much higher skill ceiling in Super Mario World. You can do a lot of really cool stuff in that game. This is just how good are you at running forward or backwards, or left or right. And as we've clearly shown by now, I'm not very good at either of those things. Nice. I do all that and then I still miss the Wumpa fruit at the bottom. Ah. Yeah, at least it didn't die. Okay, nice and easy, nice and easy. Gotta learn to skip those Tana tokens. What have I got? Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. That's what you see. That's what you want. You want everything to kind of go in time, so that if you're going to be making these jumps, it just works out in your favor. Yeah, I don't think I ever really focused on how quick it is to do that. There's some things that you just don't really think about when you're playing a game. And after playing some games with a lot of loading times when you die, a lot of long loading times, playing something like this that when you die, which to be fair, a lot of people are going to die pretty frequently when they're playing Crash, having you come back immediately is pretty nice. Alright, if there's one level that I think I'm good at, I think I'm good at these levels. Now I think, doesn't mean I am, but I usually perform pretty well on them. No crystal for us. Ah! I missed a life. What's the point? What's the point? Bang. So close, you could hear it. You could hear the end. Alright, that was a bit of a longer wait to come back though. But then again, they had to load in the boar. That takes extra power. It's alright, we got our life now. That's actually the real reason I died. I guessed wrong. Yeah, getting the gems in these ones are pretty tough. A lot of it is just memorization. One thing I will say though is that in spite of Crash's difficulty, it's pretty easy to get quite a lot of lives in this game, even if you're dying rather frequently. As long as you're going for boxes. You really feel like you're in a... Oh, not this time. You really feel like you're in a bad spot. The effects are mind-boggling. I agree. You see, I have to big myself up just for the entertainment value of failure. There's nothing more entertaining than seeing somebody cocky fail. Alright. Okay, this is where I would say the game has its difficulty spike, I suppose. Or at least the first one. What have I got? There's a lot of annoying stuff in this level. So we're gonna be respectful. And actually try to play it properly. Boing, boing. Oh, come on. Alright. Resident heal. Oh, I don't need a resident heal. Oh, in this house. Okay. Oh, I thought I was dead there, to be honest. Okay. I did it again. I brought myself to a bonus level. By complete accident. You know what? Look, we'll get the lives. I guess that's one way to get by them quickly. That's probably my most common death in, like, any game. Mistiming the very first jump. The easiest jump. Ah, come on. Whatever, I gotta go all the way back down, don't I? At least this part, like, if you mess it up, you're only wasting your time. Which still kind of sucks, but hey. Yeah, it was a pretty impressive bonus round, I gotta say. One of my better ones. Oh, come on! Whoop. I'll take it. Alright, fancy, fancy. No! Oh, you see that? I should have just committed to it. Should have just committed to it. Always commit to your failure, or else you'll just be a coward and also a dead person. It's also a much longer level than the previous few. At least it's good for lives. Alrighty. Alrighty, not bad. Alright, we're out of coffee now, which means we're now into Pepsi Max mode. Which is a good place to start on the next island. So thanks everybody for joining into the chat and watching this fine Sunday stream with high quality gameplay and definitely no accidental deaths. And my wonderful chat box that works very well. See, the problem with YouTube is it's actually quite difficult to test. Like on Twitch you can test the chat before it goes live. On YouTube you can't. So I was like, grand, I have everything set up correctly. This will probably work just fine. Well, that's a good checkpoint. Burst that thirst. This game's actually very generous with lives. Like, really, really quite generous. Even though, like, considering that, like, I died quite a lot in Crash, like, what the hell was that? Yeah, considering how often I die in Crash, I usually finish this game with, like, 50 or so lives in most circumstances. And I will die a lot, don't you worry. Okay. There we go. I got like spooked out by the blue plant there. I was like, when's that going to close? The real enemy in Crash is D-pad controls. That's the real difficulty curve. Oh, okay. 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 You want to play that game, Mr. Monkey? You want to play that game? Oh, thank you so much, DGR. Really appreciate you stopping by and saying that. And don't worry, proper content will be on its way soon. If you ever see me stream, it's because I'm lagging behind on getting a video out. That's probably the reason why. There we go. Ah, come on! Come on! Come on! I made all that fuss about having lots of lives, and now I'm gonna lose them all on this level. This isn't even a hard level. Don't worry, I'll outperform myself on the hard levels. Oh my god. We're entering into Tilt City now. And nobody wants to go to Tilt City, let me tell you. Where would Tilt City be in the USA? Probably Pittsburgh, I'd imagine. I've never been to Pittsburgh, so I wouldn't know. But I have heard it's rather smoggy. There we go. There we go. Why does that keep happening? Why can't I stop? I got too much momentum on my side. I'm too fast. Do I want to hit that? Yeah, why not? Alright, it looks like we might be going to another accidental bonus level. But we know how to get out of them quickly. Oh, God. Yeah, this is a zero deaths pacifist, every gem, every Wumpa, every Tana token, every embryo token. Perfection run for perfect people. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna put on my serious face now. I'm not gonna talk for the next moment. See, this is why I'm not cut out for streaming. If I talk, I play poorly at video games. Yeah, all deaths run. I'm going to show you every single crash death animation. Alright. You could really use these lives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? What a weird number. What a weird number. Thanks. There will be plenty of whoas. Whoa. Can't do the crash whoa. To show you how bad this is, like I've got like a Crash Bandicoot tattoo. I don't know if you can see it here. I've got like an Aku mask on my wrist, which should tell you that I should be good at this game, right? That should be an indication that I know what I'm doing. Should be. Okay. Ain't falling for that shit. Okay. I'm trying to fix this chat zone. I made all the effort of making chat zone for the lads, and if I can't use chat zone for the lads, I'll be very disappointed. Oh, nice. Does anybody else have some cool video game tattoos? I would love to have way more tattoos than I have, but tattoos are kind of pricey. A little bit expensive. Alright. Yeah, I'm almost definitely gonna die. I was trying to remember, I was like, which iteration of Ripperoo am I fighting? My personal favorite is Crash 2 Ripperoo, which is much better than this one, in my opinion. Okay. Alright. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. I love that you just call him the man. Sorry, I thought I read the man from Pan's Labyrinth there for a second. I was like, the man from Pan's Labyrinth. I was like, no, Pan from Pan's Labyrinth. That's way better. The man from Pan's Labyrinth. If you were to refer to the man from Pan's Labyrinth, it would, you know, obviously it's like Eyeball Man. He's the only man from Pan's. But Pan from Pan's Labyrinth is pretty sick. That's a really cool tattoo. I have a Crash Bandicoot tattoo. I have a Mario tattoo on my foot. Because I wanted to prove that getting a tattoo wasn't painful. So I got one on my foot, which turned out to be one of the most painful places that you can get a tattoo. Not my smartest idea. I have a Kirby tattoo. And I have a... What? And I have a Majora's Mask tattoo. And I would love to have many more, and I probably will get a lot more at some point. I just have to come up with something that I like. There's plenty of games that I like, but I think having a tattoo that you like and there being a game that you like is two very different things. You want something that kind of looks good. I try to get tattoos that I feel like if somebody who doesn't know the source material, they'll still think it looks cool. That to me is the idea of a good tattoo. Something that looks nice so that people who don't even know what it is are like, hey, that's cool. And that usually involves having a chat with somebody who's talented. Because I've seen a lot of tattoos for video games that I really love, and I wouldn't say they're great tattoos. But hey, at the end of the day, just get something that makes you happy. Whee! I am really enjoying Kirby in the Forgotten Land. My fiance bought it for me, which is really, really nice of her. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. A 3D Kirby game's kind of been... It's one of those things that I didn't really know how much I wanted it until I played it, and I was like, okay, this is pretty great. I think they've done it really well. See, in spite of my Crash Bandicoot playing here, I really like, you know, nice, relaxing, easy games. And I think Kirby's kind of like the pinnacle of really good yet really easy. And by that I mean you can have a really great time in a Kirby game, even if it's not necessarily, you know, giving you a big challenge all the time. You're just gonna have a nice time playing it. It feels good to play, everything is cool, Kirby's super cute, music is great. It's a perfect just, you know, sit back, relax, and have a nice time game. And I think I was in the right state of mind to get the new Kirby game. I wanted something just like that. And that scratched the itch for me, 100%. I've yet to finish it, though. Oh, dear. I'm on the third land, just after getting out of Beach World. Because I wanted to go back. I got really, you see, even though I just said Kirby's kind of easy, I get really kind of uppity about 100%ing my platformers. And the challenges in Kirby, getting the time trials on the challenges, that is not easy. That's not easy at all. They take quite a difficulty spike by the time you get to the beach land. But then, you know what, after doing most of them, I was like, I'm not actually gonna do these anymore, because I don't even think you get anything for, you get like 50 coins or something for getting the power time on them, which is absolutely not worth it. Aw, heaps. I've watched this man play Crash Bandicoot many times. And it's probably nice for him to see somebody else having a bad time with Crash. Oh, I've no doubt. I'm really looking forward to seeing what further upgrades I'm going to get for the powers. I tried my best to, like, know as little as I could about the new Kirby game before going in. Because you know the way they always put something like a new gimmick into each and every Kirby game to kind of spice it up a little bit. So I was wondering what they were going to do for the 3D Kirby game, and upgrading your copy abilities. One of my favorite additions, I'd say. Although I still think Planet Robobot has the best stuff. That's probably still my favorite Kirby game. Well, that didn't look right. Okay, we're gonna time this box jump. There we go. You see, Heaps, I've watched you play Crash 4, and I mentioned this before, right? In the past, I would have said Crash 1 is the hardest Crash game, and then Crash 4 came out and completely obliterated Crash 1 in terms of difficulty. I thought Crash 4 was going to be like a nice, straightforward, simple return to form for Crash Bandicoot. I didn't think they were going to make like the de facto Crash game for people who are good at Crash Bandicoot. Which, in fairness, right, is probably the right thing to do. Make a tough Crash game for Crash fans. Alright, I'm not gonna risk dying here for the sake of boxes that I don't really care about. I already got the lives. I already got the points. I already got the Seatana. We're doing alright. Oh yeah, no, I've got the Insane... Like, I have the Insane trilogy multiple times. I have it on Steam. I have it on the Switch. I have it on the PS4. But, you know, we can't really be playing a remaster of Crash on this channel. It has to be OG. And I think, right, I know some people say the jumping in Insane trilogy feels a little bit different, which I think it does, if I'm being honest. Oh, come on, dude, don't do this to me. But I'm more used to Insane trilogy's jumping now, I think. It's actually been a while since I played OG Crash. You know, Heaps, I've seen you play Cuphead as well. For whatever reason, right, I think Cuphead, like, Cuphead's very difficult, but I think I've played so many run and guns. I think I had a pretty okay time with Cuphead, all things considered. Because the fun thing about Cuphead, and this is what I like about that game, is that any boss in Cuphead, right, in spite of the amount of times that you'll die, any boss in Cuphead only takes about a minute or two to beat. And that's what always kind of motivated me to do good at that game. I was like, if I'm going to beat this boss, all it takes is a few seconds of me just being really good and not dying. I love Cuphead though. Cuphead's one of my favorite games of the past decade or so, I'd say. Not just in terms of visuals, but I just really, really love difficult run and guns. And I like that one is kind of... I know there's like some normal levels in it, but I kind of like Boss Rush style games as well. You know, like Alien Soldier on the Mega Drive. Basically any treasure game. But particularly Alien Soldier. What the hell was that? Actually, if you want to talk about hard video games, Alien Soldier's a hard fucking video game. Okay. Yeah, one thing as well is that streaming makes everything harder. I was playing it from like the comfort of my home with nobody talking to me during it. That's why, like, to be fair, that's why I can play this, because at least I kind of know what to expect from Crash. If I was playing any game for the first time, I'd probably never do it on stream. Although, I did play through the Adventures of Little Ralph on here, like, fully for the first time. And that was a pretty hard game. Well. That comes back, right? That comes... Yeah, there we go. But if I was going to be playing a hard game, I'd almost never do it on stream. Unless it was for, like, the entertainment of other people. And I guess that's what streaming is all about. Entertaining people. I'm not about that life. Oh, God. See you, Jace. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Is that Jace or Jas? Jace. I'm going to say Jace. I'm almost definitely going to get everybody's names wrong at least once in my life. I'm really bad with names. It's like a family trait. We mispronounce names. We don't remember people's names. Keep getting stuck in that little thing there. Alright. There we go. I missed the life. Double bad. Wow. Okay. See, even with all the death, 36 lives. Say what you want about Crash 1, at least it knows that you're going to be kind of bad at it. Wow! Is your name just Peter Ferry? Or am I saying Ferry wrong? Do I have a big PS1 collection? You know, I do. Although my PS1 collection is probably... Oh, we're already at Road to Nowhere. Oh, wow. Yeah, my PS1 collection isn't anywhere near as big as some other game collections. My biggest game collection is probably... probably in the modern ones, probably the Switch. Switch, PS4. They're probably the games that I have the most for at this stage. But that's just because, like... You know, I'm an adult and I have a job, so I can afford games now. So I'm more inclined to buy new ones. Although I've kind of stopped buying games most recently. Out of like retro stuff, probably my biggest collection is either PS2, original Xbox, or Dreamcast. At one point I was trying to get a complete PAL collection of Dreamcast games. And I got kind of close until I hit the point where all the games I had left to buy were kind of bad. And I kind of had a hard time paying a lot of money for bad games. It's not a great feeling. So I kind of left that for the time being. But I do have a lot of PS1 games, but most of the PS1 games I have are from my childhood. But I had to die eventually. You know, compared to the remake, I would say, it depends on how you feel, right? I would say, like, this is as hard as the remake. There's a few quality of life changes in the remake that make it a bit better. But I agree when people say they changed the jump a little bit in the remake. So if you come in here, if you come into Crash 1, right? If you come into the remake, like, with an idea in your head of how Crash's jump physics work, they're ever so slightly different. So it makes everything feel like it's off, even though it's arguably maybe a little bit better. Nah, well, I'm actually surprised at how little I've died on this so far. But Road to Nowhere is not like the hard one of these levels. This is the baby one. This is the nice version of this level. Didn't need to die there. Didn't need to die there. Didn't have to do that. If you play like the new one though, if you play Crash 4 at 60 FPS, that's by far the best that Crash has ever felt. Like, significantly better than any other Crash game. Yeah, I don't know if it's this level, right? I don't know if this is this level or the next one of these, right? But the jump at the very end, you know, where I think you have to hit the turtle to make the jump? That in the remake, for whatever reason, I legitimately lost about 30 lives on it, which is kind of insane. Nobody should be losing 30 lives on a jump, but I did. So we're not going to do it this time around. Oh, is this the turtle that I just talked about? Oh, it is. Okay. Come on, little buddy, get back up. Yeah, so this jump, I for some reason couldn't do very well in the remake. All right, that seems good to me. There we go. All right. There we go. There we go. That wasn't so bad. Yeah, the next one's much harder than that one. Much harder. Everything after Koala Kong. That's when stuff gets really bad. Well, even some of the levels, actually, some of the levels in the last island ain't too bad. A lot of the Cortex levels aren't really that hard. It's just, it's Slippery Climb. Slippery Climb is like the level. If you can beat Slippery Climb, you're fine. But I'll tell you what, right? They added a new level into the Insane trilogy that I can't remember the name of, but it is by far the worst level. I think it's like a level that was in the original version that they left on the cutting room floor. So they added it as DLC to the remake, and it's let's just say I'm glad they left it out of the full game. You know, playing the original Crash really makes you appreciate how good 2 and 3 were. Not that this is bad, but like some of the stuff, I love being chased by polar bears and dinosaurs, you know? Not that a boulder's too shabby, but you know. It's a little basic in comparison. It's no big mama polar bear. Yeah, Slippery Climb, is that the name of it? Yeah, awful. Or don't be outing me in the chat. I remember taking home the Insane trilogy, super excited to play it and being like, oh god, Crash 1, super easy, can't wait to get through it, and having an awful time. just being terrible. But that's just Crash Rust, you know? We're still on track for those 50 lives I was talking about. I know it seemed pretty rusty after all those deaths in the water, but still on track. Oh, fair enough. No. Did anybody see that trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4 today, by the way? I was like watching it in like disbelief. I was like, what is happening? What have they done to that series? They got rid of Sora's massive shoes. What's the point? No worries, Heaps. Thanks for stopping by, man. Have a good evening. Oh god. I've just like been panicked here. Something about this lizard iguana-esque friend stresses me out. That's my kryptonite in every Crash game. The actual enemies themselves. Jumps, not so bad. Obstacles, not so bad. Weird enemies that I don't know if I can jump on or spin, they're what get me. Oh, that's great to hear, Random Vlogs. Thanks so much for stopping by. This is also one of my favorite games. You wouldn't think it by how much I'm dying. By the way, in case anybody's ever wondering, all of the streams that I do on this channel, not that there's many of them, not that there's many, I put them all in like a playlist. Just because if you keep live streams up public on the channel, they tend to negatively affect the algorithm for some reason. Basically, these big long videos that not many people watch, YouTube doesn't like them. So I put them all unlisted in a playlist. So there are a few other ones on the channel if people want to watch. But they'll be only accessible in a playlist. And this is what's going to happen to this one when we're done. But for those who are live, here in the flesh, welcome. You get to see the magic as it happens. All the high octane action. There we go. Why did I not jump? Why I spin? Like, for whatever reason, the spin wasn't working for a second there, so I spinned the way to life. Terrible. Awful. Honestly, the real Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer kind of looks like a meme trailer in itself. I don't know what's the deal with Square at the moment. I've heard that Chrono Cross remaster is really bad. Which is a shame, because we never got Chrono Cross here in Europe. This is technically the first time Chrono Cross is officially being released in a PAL region. And they've messed it up. I actually, years ago, I bought a US PS2 just so I could play games like Chrono Cross. So I'm still okay. I still got the good version. But I'd really like if Square could just re-release a game and not fuck with it. They're better than that, or at least they should be. I should also be better than this. You know what? If I can get the chat fixed, oh my god, there goes all my lies. If I can get the chat fixed, I'll add a whoa counter. You know what? I need one of those things. You know those stream decks where you can have like a little button to help with counters and stuff. Wow, it's getting really bad. Yeah. So what I've heard about the Chrono Cross remaster is one is that it runs worse than the PS1 version. And it doesn't matter what platform you're playing on, be it the Switch, be it PC, be it PS5, it has worse frame rate than the PS1 version, right? Which isn't great, as you can imagine. But on top of that, they also like adjusted the soundtrack. And I don't know about you guys, but if there was ever a game that you didn't want to adjust the soundtrack in, I think it's Chrono Cross. So people are like, can you just bring out a nice version of Chrono Cross that runs well, doesn't have to have fancy graphics, doesn't have to have anything at all. It has to have maybe you could add like the fast forward function, keep the original music, just give us portable Chrono Cross. But they keep doing things to the games that somehow make them inferior to the original versions. And it's not just Chrono Cross. Square have done that with a lot of games. Almost every remaster of a game that they bring out is inferior to the original in some way, shape, or form. Although I'm not sure how the pixel remasters have held up. I think some people say they're pretty good. But yeah, it's quite disappointing. I think Digital Foundry did a really good video explaining why, or all the issues with the Chrono Cross remaster. I haven't watched it yet, but I had a quick summary on Twitter that I read, and I was like, oof. That being said, though, if you haven't played Chrono Cross before, 20 quid for an inferior version of Chrono Cross is still better than no Chrono Cross. Plus, it has fast forward, and I'm one of those people who thinks having fast forward in your JRPG makes it significantly better. Just having the choice to do so. Not everybody has the time to play a JRPG these days. I played through the original trilogy, the original PS1 trilogy of Final Fantasy games, 7, 8, and 9, with fast forward, and I got through like almost all of them in about 20 hours a pop, which is great. And that's like all the bonus content, all the secret bosses. That's what you want. It was a nice experience. Oh yeah, no, there are some good ones, I believe, yeah. Like you said, their Saga's meant to be pretty good. I don't know if, what was it, the Mana one that came out? Legend of Mana? That looked pretty good too. I don't know if that's better or worse, but it looked pretty good. Oh, I'm not getting this timing right. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah. But still, Chrono Cross of all things. They should be putting more effort into it. Whoa! What? I was like, I'm jumping into that. Why can't I pick it up? It spins it away. All right, this is turning out to be another one of the nightmare levels. My timing is so bad. All right. I swear I'm jumping trying to get this. Why won't I get it? Whatever. Whatever. This is terrible. I think Final Fantasy VII Remake should be coming to Xbox. Oh, wow. Whenever it loses its Epic exclusivity on PC as well, probably. I'll probably just throw it on Games Pass or something. Alright. Alright, no more messing around. Not that that was messing. Now it's just me being really bad. But now I'm gonna... Alright, I take that back.
What have I got?
Okay. Yeah. I bought an Xbox One S. Not an Xbox One S, sorry, an Xbox Series S. Just because we don't really have a lot of space downstairs for like games and stuff, and I wanted to have like a console that... Or I could just play like a few casual games on, just in the background if she felt like it. So I figured that would be good as just having like a little Games Pass console downstairs, and it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. She's playing through Viva Pinata at the moment, which is like one of my favorite games. So I'm glad Games Pass can introduce more people to Viva Pinata. Low-key the best Rare game. And I stand by that statement. That's what I should do. I should just stream Viva Pinata. Just 50 hours of feeding bunnies. That's good action. You know, I feel right, if I can make it to the end of this stream with Crash Bandicoot, I feel like if I'm going to do another couple of streams, I'll probably stream the other Crash games as well. Like, I think Crash 2 and Crash 3 are better than... is better than this game. And in particular, I think the third Crash Bandicoot is the strongest of the PS1 trilogy. There's also maybe an argument for saying Crash Team Racing is the best, but that depends on how you feel about kart racing games. But yeah, no, I'd probably stream the other Crashes as well. Plus, you know, 2 and 3 are a lot easier than this game, so they'd be probably a bit more fun to play through. Bit more relaxing. Yeah. Like, Viva Pinata was one of the first games I got on the 360 when I got it. But I was just a sucker for anything rare, so if I seen a rare game, I was getting it. But it turned out to be maybe my favorite rare game. And I like it more than Trouble in Paradise as well. Trouble in Paradise is really good. But I think adding the extra desert and Arctic lands kind of overcomplicated the game. And Viva Pinata is one of those games that kind of runs the risk of being a little too complicated for its own good at some times as well. But it rules. Alright, there we go. That wasn't too bad. What makes Viva so good? So Viva Pinata, if you don't know about it, is basically... It's kind of a mixture between a gardening, an animal simulation, where you set up a small garden of cute little pinata-based animals, and you have to breed them, and by breeding them, it helps you level up your garden, which lets you get more stuff for your garden. And by getting more stuff, you can get more animals. And it's just a really, like, fun, relaxing game. There's a lot of charm to it. There's a lot of personality. There's so much stuff to do. And it's not, like, easy either. It can be pretty challenging a lot of the time, too. But there was just something about the mixture of it. It's like all of Rare's personality and charm put into like a cutesy simulation game. Which was almost exactly what I wanted in a game, but didn't know I wanted it. Alright, Koala Kong. Oh, come on! Come on! CTR used to be my favorite kart racer until Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform came out. Which is like the de facto kart racer in my book. That being said though, Crash Team Racing is still up there. It's like, if you're ever gonna like own kart racers, I think all you ever really need to own is Mario Kart 8, Diddy Kong Racing, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, and Crash Team Racing. If you can own those four, I think you've got all the kart racers you'll ever need. Unless there's others that I've yet to play, but I think they're kind of the peak. Come on, Koala Kong, you're making a show of me on stream. I always thought it was funny how easy a boss, like, I know we're not at him yet, but how easy Pinstripe is. Like, Pinstripe should be a much harder boss than he is. Like, don't count Wipeout as a kart racer. I know it has power-ups and stuff, but I wouldn't call Wipeout a kart racer. It's an anti-grav racer. That's its own genre. Anti-grav racers are kind of like a mixture of kart racers and a traditional racer in a way. Best of both worlds. But I do love Wipeout. If we were including Wipeout in that echelon, yeah, sure, maybe. There we go. We should be fine now. Alright. There we go. Looney Tunes Racing. Is that... Which Looney Tunes Racing are we talking here? Because I've had some people really big up the PS1 game, which I haven't played. Alright? Which I haven't played. But I have played, I think it's Looney Tunes Space Race? The Dreamcast one? And that's really good too. I haven't played Chocobo GP. I'm sorry, no, I have played Chocobo GP. Is this the new one? Is the new one Chocobo Racing or Chocobo GP? I played the PS1 one a little bit, which is super cool. But I haven't played it enough to kind of fit it into the top tier, let's just say, of kart racers. I'm really disappointed by the new one, though. I had high hopes that was going to be really good. And then it's kind of like a... like, it has like a mobile game stuff in it. It has like free-to-play elements and microtransactions and all this other stuff. Like, it seems like a game that was made for phones as well as Switch, which is, like, I've nothing against mobile games, but... you know, I would like them to be separate from the console games. Yeah, I've heard good things about Looney Tunes Racing on the PS1. But I have not played that yet. There'll probably be a day where I play through all the Looney Tunes games for a video. I got lured in by the life. Yeah, I was thinking about that one day, maybe doing a video on all the Looney Tunes games. There's like a couple of Count Duckula games. I did a minor bit of research on them. But it'll mostly just involve me playing through all of the Bugs Bunny games. But I already did Sheep Raider. I wouldn't mind playing Sheep Raider again for a video, though. That's a fun game. This is probably my favorite level music in all in all of Crash 1. This is what plays in my head a lot of the time when I think of Crash 1. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Do 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 do. Yeah, Mickey Speedway USA. That's a good one. Hey man, thanks for stopping by. The stream is going good. I've died a lot. Right. But as I've been saying, dying in Crash Bandicoot's not too bad because it gives you lots of lives. But the stream's been going good so far, other than my chat zone not working. So clearly nobody hears the lads, unfortunately, according to the stream. I'll fix that Sunday. Unfortunately, I didn't want to spend most of the stream fixing a chat box. But hey, if you're watching on YouTube anyway, you have the YouTube chat. That's probably just as good. Okay, that's a checkpoint. The only thing I know about Chocobo GP, right? Because I was gonna buy it, right? But like, you know, if you're gonna, I'm trying to not like drop 50 quid on a game without knowing that I'm gonna probably play through it all and have a good time with it. And a friend of mine got Chocobo GP, and this is the kind of guy where like I would take his word on anything that he buys. And he bought it, and he's like, it's not as good as I thought it was gonna be. And I would consider him like a connoisseur of kart racers and Final Fantasy games. So when he seemed a bit iffy on it, I was like, maybe I'll save my money. Maybe I'll wait. Because you can actually, I think you can get like a free version of it as well, like a trial version. Maybe I'll try that. I just want Square's games to be good, man. I just want their games to be good. I mean, look, at least the camera works and at least the audio is fine, right? That's half the battle on these things. This is my first time adding a chat zone. You put the chat widget there, it will work just fine. That's what it said. And it kind of works, it just doesn't spawn properly. I don't think spawn is the correct lingo, but I'm going to use the word spawn. It hasn't spawned correctly. All right. Yeah, I don't know what's happened with Square. Such a fall from grace. They still make good games. At least all their... Wow! At least all their high-profile games are good. To be honest with you, they can... Final Fantasy 14 is so good. They can pretty much carry themselves forever based off of how good that game is. All they need to do is just make Final Fantasy 14. Keep making that good, keep adding new content, and I think they're good to go. That's honestly one of my... Yeah, the Final Fantasy 14 Redemption arc is one of my favorite stories in gaming. It's such a cool thing to see. There's a great... I don't know if you've ever seen the No Clip documentary on Final Fantasy 14. Really good. What was that? So much of this playthrough is me just going, what was that? How did that happen? Like the most bizarre deaths you'll ever see. Like you could die normally in this game, like this, right? That's just me being impatient. But so many of my deaths have been me just like walking right off of things. This is like 90% of all of the recordings I make for games as well. You don't see all the parts where I die, at least most of the time. Just like, I'll just edit that out. That's the secret. You don't need to be good at video games to have a YouTube channel. If I was good at video games, I'd be a speedrunner. That's where all the fame is. So all I've played of Stranger Paradise was the last demo they put out, which was like the really long one. And I thought it was really cool. I actually really liked it. I love how cheesy the game is. Like, I'm all for games that are, you know, unnecessarily edgy to a comical degree. And Stranger Paradise is my kind of edgy. Like, the second that, what was it, Jack walks out with the Limp Bizkit music playing. Like, that's high art to me. That's amazing. I haven't purchased the game yet, but I thought the combat in Stranger Paradise was super good. I quite like Team Ninja combat, and I quite like Neo. And in a lot of ways, Stranger Paradise seems like a more, I suppose, a more beginner-friendly version of Neo. So you take the edginess of of that Final Fantasy game, put in some Neo combat. I think that's a good game right there. So I'm looking forward to giving that a try fully someday. Probably wait till it gets a bit cheaper though. I'd say this is the main problem with being a YouTuber, quote unquote. I'm too busy fucking making videos to play games most of the time. All I'm playing, right, all I play at the moment is I play Kirby, a little bit of Kirby in the evening when I get some free time to unwind, because Kirby's lovely. And then when I'm in bed, I'm either playing Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is another RPG, which is probably not the best thing to play if you don't have a lot of time. Or I'm kind of playing through Suikoden 1 on my Retron at the moment as well, because I really love Suikoden. And Suikoden 1 doesn't take that long to beat. Oh, are you ready for the best level? Cortex Power with the giant weird Cortex heads. I skipped the opening. Oh wait, hold on. No, this isn't it. Is it? No, I don't think this is the one with the giant Cortex heads. No, this isn't it. I lied. Right, we're gonna get there eventually. What have I got? Yeah, I'll go this way. Yeah, I'm all for Stranger Paradise, but that game, like most games, is gonna get pretty cheap, I would say, in the next month or so. Not month or so, a couple of months. So I can wait for it. There's very few games that I'll buy day one these days. It's usually only stuff that if my friends are going to be playing it, like if it's a multiplayer game. That's probably the only thing that I'll probably buy day one nowadays. Otherwise, I've got too big a backlog of stuff to be playing through. And that's not even including like a lot of the retro games that I just feel like playing from time to time. Do you ever get in like a mood? Like I'm one of those people. I'm one of them people who gets into a mood to play like specific consoles. Like I'll just be like, oh, I really want to play the PSP, and I'll play PSP games for a while. And then I might get in the mood for the PS2 or the original Xbox or the 360 or the PS3. And that's good at the very least, because you can usually go back and get either play through some old classics or find some new games to play from that era. Not even risking it. Don't even care. Don't even care. Don't care about the boxes. You know, I would love to do some videos. A lot of the videos that I do, right, I would love to do a video on the Suikoden games. It would probably take a lot of time. My big issue with kind of doing JRPGs is that they take a long time to beat. And I make really long videos about short games. I don't know how long a video I would make on a long game. But for stuff like Suikoden, right, or like a game that would be really... Okay, this is the Cortex heads I was talking about. For something like Suikoden, right, I think I've watched some videos from people on Suikoden that are so good that I almost feel like I don't need to make a video on Suikoden. Or I feel like if I was to make a video, I wouldn't add anything new. I'd just be echoing a lot of points that have already been made. And that usually goes that usually goes for a lot of videos. Like, I'd love to do a video... Well, I wouldn't love to do a video on Crash, right? I love Crash. But I feel like if I was to make a video on Crash, there are people out there who are a lot more talented than I am, who have made significantly better videos on it than I probably ever could. And that's fine, you know? So I'd rather spend what time I have to make videos probably covering stuff that's maybe a little less covered, or at least I haven't seen a really, you know, good video on before. Not to say that there aren't good videos on games that I've covered, but, you know what I mean. Like, that's the thing. A lot of my favorite games are some of the most popular games on the console. You know, like, I love Metal Gear. There's almost no point making a Metal Gear video. I love Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 8. There's probably no point making a video on that stuff. Because at the end of the day, people have spent countless hours making cool, long, detailed, thorough videos on those topics. So I'm gonna make a video on, like, you know, fucking urban chaos, G-Police, pandemonium, I don't know. The weirder, the better. Thank you, that's really kind of you to say. Maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I will. I think a big part of it for me is that I get a kick out of learning while I write about a game. So I love kind of, you know, playing through a game, learning all about it, and then writing that and sharing that, writing about it and then sharing that experience with others. So a big part of the thrill is finding cool new stuff that other people might not find as well, you know? I think that's the big thing for me. That's probably why I haven't really focused on more popular games. This is why the streams are nice, because the stream I can play like Crash. Like, I love Crash, right? But I don't have to, you know, go super detailed into why I like this game. I can just play it and everybody's like, yay, Crash. I probably will make a video on some more well-known games at some point, though. I feel like I probably have to do a video on Ape Escape at some point. If not, just to kind of gush about the soundtrack for that game for about 30 minutes. Or, like, Ridge Racer Type 4. Probably, you know, honestly, it'll probably be games... Popular games that have really good music. I feel like I could go really in-depth into the music in those games more so than anything. That's what I'd probably spend a lot of the time doing. Oh, it's pinstripe time. Good night, Harebrain. Thanks so much for stopping by. Yeah, like Ape Escape's so cool. It's such a cool game. Yeah, the problem with like discussing hidden gems and discussing kind of rarer games is that you kind of have that the problem is that when you're talking about a game that not that many people know about, you're kind of leaving yourself open to have low views on your videos. The dream is kind of to have people watch your videos because of you rather than the game you're talking about. That way you can kind of talk about anything you want. And that's how I kind of discover a lot of really cool games. I watch like one video by somebody and I go, wow, that guy's really cool. I'm going to watch all his videos. And then they're talking about the most miscellaneous crap that you've never heard of, but they make it really interesting. That's kind of the dream. I feel like that's peak YouTube. That's what you want to get to. And you wait and see. If I ever get to that point, we're going to talk about some absolute shite. We're gonna have a nice 1 hour dissection of the Westlife game. That's what everybody wants. I feel like it's my duty as an Irishman to talk about the Westlife game. Which I will do. Unfortunately, though, it's a quiz game, and I don't think it's going to be very interesting. But I've thought about it. Maybe April Fool's Day some year. I'd hate to wait, although I'd hate to waste the time where I could be making a good video, where instead I spend it doing a video on the Westlife game. Ooh. Yeah. Alright, this is going okay. I think that actually, do you know what? I think this is the level where you get a gem if you make it to the end without dying. I think. So I'm gonna tempt fate by dying, I guess. Well, we'll find out in a second. I don't know when you can gauge that point. It's hard to know. I suppose it depends on how people gauge success. For me, I thought I was successful the second I could get, like, I could upload a video and it could get over 100 views in a day. For me, that was successful. That was because when I made my first ever video, I remember putting it out, right? And I was like, okay, I spent about a month making this thing. Surely people will watch it, right? And it took like months to get to 100 views. And I was like, well, shit. Well, shit. So the second I could put out a video and get like 100 views in a day, I was like, holy shit. I've made it. You know, after that, everything is kind of just going with the punches, really. I try not to think too much about a video when I put it out. You get really absorbed in the process of making a video. You spend so much time with the games you're talking about. You spend so much time editing, like looking at the footage. You feel like you know the game backwards by the time you're done with it. And then when you put the video, you're like, okay, time to think about the next video. Almost immediately. That's the way I do things now. Fire and forget. I guess that's the way of putting it. Oh, all the gems are dying. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense. I forgot it. What an important thing to forget about. I called out Pinstripe for being like the easiest boss, and I'm gonna die against him now. You watch and see. You wait and see. Alright. One hit. I have played the Insane Trilogy version before, and that would be the one that I most recently played as well. It's actually been a long time since I played OG Crash, because since I've had the Insane Trilogy and I have it on Steam, it's really nice and easy to kind of sit back and just load it up and play it from time to time. But even when I load up the Insane Trilogy... Oh, High Road, here we go. Even when I play the Insane Trilogy, I'm mostly just playing Crash 2 or 3, though. Okay, guys. Out of all the levels in Crash Bandicoot, out of every single one, there's only two that I would consider very hard. This one and Slippery Climb. So let's see how we get on with this one. Alright, little turtle. Oh, I don't know if that was far enough. Ah, yeah, that's okay. We're not on, like, pixel perfect turtles yet. What are the odds? Knew I mistimed that. It's good to see you here, Ian. Yeah, you know, I feel like I should stream more. My priorities are really, like, I spend so much time, like, working on videos, editing and stuff instead. I don't want to say, like, I'm a workaholic, but I probably work on these things more than I probably should. And because I've been sick and I'm kind of behind, on getting the next video out, I was like, do you know what? It's been a while. It's going to take me a couple more days to get a video out. I might as well put something out on the channel, just so it's not festering there. I would like to stream more, but as I've said before in other streams, I don't really consider myself a streamer. I'm more of a, I'm more of a writer. But hey, maybe if I stream more, I'd become more comfortable with streaming. Boom. Is that... Yeah, it's okay. Oh my god, why do I keep doing that? As per usual, right, a lot of my deaths are not because of the level itself, because I do, like, really silly things. Play Rayman. You know, I would play Rayman, right? But I know if I'm having trouble with Crash 1, think of the trouble I would have with Rayman. I'll play Rayman 2. Rayman 2 I'm good at. Rayman 1, I know better. Genuinely one of the hardest platformers, in my humble opinion. It's a great game, though. Rayman 1 is a fantastic game, but it is brutally difficult. Alright. If I was to play Rayman 1 on stream, I'd never get to bed. You want to talk about getting divorced? That's a quick way to get divorced. Oh, what was it doing there? What was it doing? Oh, thanks so much, Parker Monkey. I was very nervous when doing that podcast, to be honest with you, because it was my first podcast. I didn't know how it would turn out. I feel really bad for the guys, right? Because what happened is I went into that podcast after playing Fear Effect, and I had a lot to say about that game. And I had two... You'll probably see, right, if you look at the beginning of that podcast, because it is in video form. If you look at the beginning, you'll notice I necked two very high caffeine energy drinks. And I felt like when I was watching back the podcast, I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't shut up. These poor guys can't get a word in. It's their show, and I'm just like, yeah. So I was like, I'm so sorry for coming onto your podcast and talking way too fucking much. But they're really nice about it. You know, I'm going to actually be on another podcast pretty soon. I got asked on to a show called Region Free Gamers to talk about licensed video games, which I felt like was a pretty good topic to talk about. So I talk about a good licensed video game and I talk about a bad licensed video game. And I chose two games that I haven't talked about on the channel yet. So I'll post that up on Twitter on the community tab when that's ready to go. I feel like I did a bit better in that podcast performance. I was a little more tight-lipped. I didn't have two massive energy drinks beforehand in that case. But yeah, that one should be fun. So yeah, if you ever have a podcast, feel free to invite me on. I'll probably say yes, because I have nothing better to do. If I'm not on a podcast, I'm probably editing a video. Ooh. 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 Okay. Okay. You know, this ain't gone too bad. Rayman 2 on the N64 over PS1? Yeah, I'd say so. Honestly, my favorite version of Rayman 2 is the Dreamcast version, which I don't know if it's the same as the PS2 version. I just love that there's so many versions of Rayman 2. There's literally like about 7 different Rayman 2s. 3DS, DS, PS1, N64, Dreamcast. So many versions. Is it harder than Croc 2? I would say Rayman 1 is harder than Croc 2. Croc 2 is hard for a different reason. Thank you. I'll post it up. I'll post up that podcast when it's ready to go. Alright. much harder time on much easier levels than that one. I feel like I just know better when it comes to that level. But of course, the 1-2 punch of the high road into slippery climb, so let's keep the momentum going. The PS2 is a remake. I've never played the remake, or I've never played the PS2 version of Rayman 2. So I wasn't sure if it was just like an update of the Dreamcast version, but that would make sense. Yeah, we can't have a stream without talking about Croc at some point. But then again, if people are going to bring it up in the chat. Alright. Place your bets. How many times do you think I will die on this level? What the fuck? Do you know what? Any stream that I've done, right? If I open my mouth, it is an omen. Anytime I speak, somebody somewhere will die. Mostly me. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna die 8 times. And I think if I only die 8 times, that'll be a pretty good run of this level. Do I want the extra life? No. No, I don't. I don't care. I'm a sucker for the old trap extra life. You know, where if you go for the extra life, you won't get it and you'll die instead. That's my kryptonite. Can't resist a good extra life, but I'm gonna be sensible. I'm gonna avoid it. Alright, I think that's the first checkpoint. I might be misremembering the first checkpoint, but okay. But we are close to it. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. You know, I feel like Croc is the kind of game that people should love or hate. But Croc, for me, or at least I feel like Croc is one of those games that's universally loved, even though it's kind of not great. I think it's kind of aged very poorly because of the tank controls, but so many people grew up with Croc, me included, that we kind of unconditionally love Croc in spite of its inherent jankiness. Croc 2, on the other hand, is like a better game, but also worse, I feel. There's some changes they made to Croc 2 that I'm not particularly a fan of. Most notably the health system. I prefer Croc's classic rip-off of Sonic's health system. But I have a lot of love for Croc. I have a lot of love for all of the platforming mascots from the era. A lot of love for Gex, a lot of love for Croc, a lot of love for Klonoa. A lot of love for Rayman. How are the other platformers? I'm trying to think now. Pac-Man, I guess. Pac-Man World was really great. Oh. You know what? Dying hurts, but ain't nothing like dying on Slippery Climb. That double hurts. I've had so many people, right? I've never played Bubsy 3D, and the reason why is that I played Bubsy on the Mega Drive when I was a kid, and I didn't like Bubsy when I was a kid, and I liked everything when I was a kid. So I had no intention of ever trying Bubsy 3D, and then as years went on, Bubsy 3D became one of those meme games that everybody hates. So like, oh, worst games ever, worst game in the PS1. It's gotta be Bubsy, right? But I don't know what's happened. Over the years, I've had a lot of people unironically say that Bubsy might not be that bad. Now, I don't know if they're kind of memeing, but I think some people are pretty serious. There's definitely people who have asked me to play Bubsy as a joke, but there's also people who have asked me to play Bubsy because they think it's a little better than people give it credit for. And that's the kind of thing that interests me. Like, oh, is Bubsy maybe not that bad? But I always say there's only one way to find out about a game. Play it yourself. Never take the internet's word on anything. And that includes me. Never trust anything I say. That being said, I don't think Bubsy is probably going to be very good. Oh, checkpoint, nice. I don't think Bubsy is going to be very good, but I also don't think... It's going to be one of those games where I'm like, yeah, this isn't great, but I don't think it's, like, the worst thing in the world. I've played enough, like, really bad games to know what, like, really bad games are. Alright. Yeah, I think it was Bubsy 2 that I played. The problem I have with Bubsy is I don't like the game's momentum. It's one of those games that you move very fast in, but you can also die super easy in. Which reminds me a lot of European platformers, which I also kind of have a love-hate relationship with. Oh, that's... Oh, I thought I died there. I thought I messed up the momentum. Do you know what the funniest thing ever was, right? I hadn't watched the Tennings video before until, like, not too recently. I'd say within the past, like... Oh, there we go. Yeah, I never watched the Tennings video before for a while, right? But we used to go to, like, a wrestling promotion in Ireland, okay? So we had, like, a local... Oh, I'm gonna die. There's a local wrestling promotion in Ireland called OTT, Over the Top Wrestling, right? And there's a character in Over the Top Wrestling called Angel Cruz, right? Pretty good gimmick, pretty good wrestling guy. Pretty good wrestling man, right? And I remember watching a Tennings video one day, and I was like, holy shit, this is fucking Angel Cruz from OTT. So, in a weird turn of events, right, Tennings, right, who I would say is a pretty popular YouTube guy, pretty popular YouTube man, and rightly so, his videos are really good. I only knew him first because he wrestled in a local Irish wrestling promotion. So if you ever want to see, right, type in Angel Cruz Over the Top Wrestling into YouTube, and you'll see Tennings in his daylighting wrestling mode, which is amazing, by the way. See, I think Sonic gets away with it because of the ring system. You can run really fast in Sonic, right, and absolutely bollocks yourself up, but you always kind of have a chance to sort things out. And I think Sonic level design, at least in most Sonic games, is good enough that you can almost get through a level without coming across too many bullshit things. Some people hate Sonic for that, but I really love Sonic. I'm a little Sonic bitch. I'll stand up for Sonic any day of the week. Even the ropey 3D Sonic games. I'll stand up for them. Even when I'm playing them and I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is very good. I'm like, ah, it's okay. No, I just realized I didn't even make a big deal about being slippery climb there. That wasn't too bad. I think we got less than 8 deaths on it. See, I feel like I'm starting to get into a zone now. A lot of gaming is just being in the zone. I say as I die on another bad jump. I've never seen Grado wrestler in the flesh, right? Grado wrestler in the flesh. I've never seen Grado wrestle in the flesh. But I have seen one of Grado's entrances at one of the ICP shows. Is that what they're called? Insane. Oh my god. Where he comes out to Like a Prayer by Madonna. That's one of the greatest wrestling entrances I have ever seen. Absolutely iconic. Never has the guy been so over. Oh. Yeah, Sonic is like a love it or hate it kind of thing. It's not like Mario where I'd have a hard time taking somebody seriously who argues that Mario isn't great. You know, like you can love or hate Mario, but Mario is such like a well-designed game that I don't think you can really argue that it's bad. Sonic, you could probably argue is bad, but I also think it's pretty great. But if you don't like Sonic, I'm like, yeah, that's fine, I get it. If you don't like Mario, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, I get it, but it's pretty fucking masterful. Same with Crash. I think you could argue, and like a lot of people, I know when Insane Trilogy came out, a lot of people came out of the woodwork to be like, Crash was never good, and I was like, how dare you? Crash is great. Is it like a masterpiece? No. But is it good? Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good game. And especially considering the early days of 3D gaming, this was like such a clever and safe way of making a 3D game, kind of limiting it to this sort of corridor style of gameplay. Yeah. You know what? That podcast I was on, we actually talked about Sonic at the beginning because they asked like a question about my first gameplay experiences, and I said playing Sonic when I was a kid, when I was very young, was how I kind of fell in love with video games. That was like the first. It wasn't the first game I played, but it was the first game that I enjoyed. I'll put it that way. And at that point, I was like, holy shit, games are my everything, so to speak. And we talked about kind of 3D Sonic games a little bit. And Sonic Unleashed is like, oh dear, oh dear. Sonic Unleashed, right? The Sonic parts of Sonic Unleashed are some of the best Sonic gameplay ever. It is so good. It is so cool. And like that game still looks amazing, considering it came out in like 2010. Is it like, I don't know when Sonic Unleashed came out. I feel like it was like 2009 or something. It still looks amazing. I can't tell you how much I hate the fucking Werehog sections, though. Sonic is one of those things where they always get so close to making a great game and they bollocks it up somehow. At least when it comes to the 3D entries. Although Sonic Generations is pretty great. And then Sonic Mania was like such a good return to form as well. It's hard being a Sonic fan. Yeah, Crash kind of got a hard rap throughout a lot of his life. I don't mind, like even the Sierra Sonic games, not Sonic, sorry, the later Crash games. Rat the Cortex, Twin Sanity. I don't hate those games. They definitely don't match up to these ones, but I don't think they're like awful by any means. They're not what, you know, Crash fans wanted, but I was just kind of happy to get more Crash. Although Mind Over Mutant and stuff, that's kind of when I, even a hardcore Crash fan like me kind of lost the faith a bit. So it's nice to see, even if they never make a Crash game again, I think Crash 4 was the right way to go out. But what does bother me though, because when Activision made all those good like remasters, like not just Crash but like Spyro, Tony Hawk and everything, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore, we're going to go put all these teams to work on Call of Duty games. I was like, how could you do that? Because once Crash 4 came out, I thought for certain we were going to get a new Spyro, a new Tony Hawk. Like, it just makes sense. And after how good Crash 4 turned out, I really wanted to see what they do with a new Spyro game. And now it looks like we're just not going to get that. Although never say never. I thought we were never going to get any sort of new Crash anything. Let alone like a remaster of pretty much all the good Crash games. And now that I suppose Microsoft owns Activision, they technically own the license to all of these games, so you never know. I honestly think it'd be very much in Microsoft's favor to fund like a Spyro game. They'd win a lot of brownie points with the gaming community if they did that. Like, that's what I think about Microsoft. They have all these like extra studios now, right? Like, all they have to do is just make games that please the gamers. It's so simple. just appeal to the hardcore crowd and you can't do no wrong. Oh, why? Why? Yeah, maybe it didn't well. Maybe it didn't sell as well as expected. I'm gonna say, right, the only reason I thought it might have done really well is because I don't know about across the world, right, but I was like looking at the charts when the Insane Trilogy came out. And Insane Trilogy was constantly in the top 10 of the charts for like well over a year after that game came out. But I can't speak for the rest of the world, but like Irish people... Game like stuttered there a little bit. Irish people really fucking love Crash Bandicoot. They really love the PS1 in general. It's like a cultural thing. I remember reading a quote that like per capita more Irish people own the PS1 than like any other country in the world, at least per capita. So wherever you would go in Ireland, there's a good chance somebody had a PS1 at some point. They just really fucking love the thing. And I just got really bad all of a sudden. I had a nice streak there and not dying, I think. So I would have hoped Crash 4 probably would have sold better. But really, I don't know. I don't think selling games is like too much of an issue for Activision. They just want a way to monetize stuff further. And I don't think there's an easy way to monetize games for kids. They tried doing it with CTR. And that was a shame, because when Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel came out, they didn't have like microtransactions in it at the beginning, and then they added all that stuff later. And I didn't mind too much because like they ended up giving us lots of really cool stuff in that game for free, but people do not take kindly to microtransactions in the slightest. And I think they just couldn't monetize these games like they wanted to. Oh god. It's a good thing I have a lot of lives, because I'm really fucking up this jump. I keep stopping for some reason. I'm thinking too much about games. They really were. They added so much, like credit to, I don't know who, I can't remember who exactly did the, the Crash Team Racing remake. I don't know which studio it was, whether it was Toys for Bob or Treyarch? No, it wasn't Treyarch. One of them anyway. But they put so much cool free stuff into that game, and then just put a load of really weird microtransactions. Lots of cosmetic stuff. And they just, you know, oh, that was a jump one. Oh god. They just didn't need to do that. They didn't need to tank the reputation of the game. They had it made for them. This is my slippery climb, this level. Clearly. Beanox, that's the one, yeah. Beanox did a great job of that, I thought. I thought the remake of that was really good. Actually, credit to Activision. I don't really want to say credit to Activision. Credit to all of the devs who worked on the remakes. Insane Trilogy, the Spyro Trilogy, the Crash Team Racing remake, the Tony Hawk one. All of them were, like, really good. About as good as you could ever hope for from a remaster. If I think of, like, peak remasters in terms of, like, quality, staying true to the original and just kind of improving what was already there, they're probably what I would look at as what you'd want from a remaster. Yeah, Vicarious Visions, Toys for Bob, Beanox, they all did a great job. Oh, God. Well, look, at least it was a bonus level. Who do I think Microsoft will buy out next? I don't know. I'm not sure who they're going to buy out next, but I think somebody should buy Konami. I think it is absolutely in somebody's interest to buy Konami, because Konami are sitting on a gold mine of IPs that they're just not capitalizing on. And I don't know if it's going to be Microsoft. I don't know if it's going to be Sony. I get the feeling Sony might do it. The problem is, I don't really want to see too many of the... I don't really want to see too many of the industry getting bought up. If they can help it. I think, like, it's obviously good to see a lot of these studios get, like, new influxes of cash. But it's not always great to kind of have a big money-driven company looking over you when it comes to creativity. I feel like Sony's kind of lost its way a bit in that regard. The moment they closed Japan studio, I was like, oh, shit. Writing's on the walls. You close the studio who makes, like, fucking... you know, Ape Escape, Puppeteer, a lot of your most creative titles. Sony are kind of very much driven towards making big cinematic blockbusters nowadays. And I don't want to see other companies kind of veering towards that kind of thing if they can help it. Like, if somebody, like, for example, if somebody bought Capcom, I'd be so sad. You know, I like weird games. I like weird games. I like unique games. I like games that are out there. And I think you need a certain level of autonomy nowadays to be able to do that. That's why, ironically, like, Microsoft are the last people I think would kind of give people the freedom to do that. But I'd probably say they're the best for it nowadays. Other than Nintendo, of course. But Nintendo are never going to make the games I want to make. They're never going to make that F-Zero I'm looking for. Yeah. Atlus and Sega is a weird one, right? Because Atlus are, like, churning out games non-stop nowadays, which is amazing to see. It's amazing to see Atlus have any sort of mainstream popularity whatsoever. I always knew Persona would be the game to do it. Ever since I played... Am I dead? Okay, well. Ever since I played Persona 3 for the first time on the PS2, I was like, right, this is... people would love this shit. And then Persona 4 came out, and I was like, people will love this shit. And then I knew Persona 5 had to be the one to break the mainstream, and I'm happy that it did. But then again, you know, until I see a reason to worry about Atlus, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Because as long as they keep making Megami Tensei games, like proper Megami Tensei games, I think we're okay. Although I'd love to see I keep thinking that I'd love to see another Etrian Odyssey, but I don't really know how Etrian Odyssey is going to hold up outside of anything but the DS. I think Etrian Odyssey was like the kind of series that was so perfectly made for 2 screens that anything else is just not going to be as good. I don't know. I don't know. I think this is why I like the PS1 so much, because you can get, like, high-budget weird titles. Because you can make a really high-budget game off a pretty low budget back in that era with a couple of people. You could literally make the weirdest thing, and it would be, like, as high quality as a first-party game. And that, to me, is really cool. I think that kind of died out around the 360 PS3 era. Honestly, like, I know I mentioned there I'd like Konami to be bought out. Konami don't need to be bought out. They make so much money. It's not even pachinko that they make a ton of money from. They do make a lot of money from pachinko. But they make so much fucking money from Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, so much fucking money. Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game. Yu-Gi-Oh! The mobile games. And probably Master Duel as well, the new one that they brought out. I guarantee you they make so much fucking money from that. They do not need to be bought out. But I think that's the problem. They're just, you know, happy making money without taking any sort of creative risk. And it's a shame. That being said, though, Konami want to keep, like, re-releasing their classic games, or at least letting other people remaster their classic games. That's fine by me too. I've had a lot of fun playing the Castlevania Advance Collection. You know, more of that sort of stuff. Also got that Turtles Cowabunga collection coming out. That's really exciting. That's probably the best run I've ever had of Brio. Holy shit. I have played Persona 1 and 2. I've never played the original version of Persona 1, right? So when I say original, I mean the actual PS1 version. I played the PSP remake of Persona 1, which I quite liked. I would say it's by far the weakest Persona game for sure, as, you know, the first game in most series would be. I played Persona 2 though on the translation of it, not the PSP remake. I played a fan translation of it. I think that might be maybe not my favorite Persona game, but it's up there in the top, I think. But I do agree, Persona as it is now, that only really kicked into gear around Persona 3. But I would say my favorite Persona games are probably Tree Fez or Persona 2. And when I say Persona 2, I mean both of the games. Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment. That's not to say that I don't love Persona 4 and 5 though. I think they're excellent games. I just really love Shin Megami Tensei games outright. Like, I'd say I prefer classic Megami Tensei to Persona now at this stage, because I spent a lot of time really getting into old school Megami Tensei. And when I say that, I mean like Nocturne, Shin Megami Tensei 4 is probably my favorite one. Strange Journey is amazing. Soul Hackers, amazing. They're just really cool games. It's because I like monster collecting. I loved Pokemon growing up. I loved Digimon growing up. And then playing a Megami Tensei game is like playing adult hardcore monster collecting, the video game. So it was perfect for me. Yeah. Look, honestly, it's probably never been a better time to be a gamer in a lot of ways. And that's not even considering just like purchasing stuff. We live in such a golden age of emulation and accessibility to play old games. Like, I don't know about you guys, I don't know if you've seen my channel, but I'm a pretty big advocate for emulating games. There's no way I'd be able to make the videos and the kind of content that I do without having access to huge libraries of games to be emulated like this, you know? And I know a lot of people, like, I've watched so many YouTubers who are like proud of their game rooms and their collections, and I get that, you know? It's really cool to have that sort of stuff, but like, retro gaming's so fucking expensive. It's just not feasible for a lot of people nowadays. As much as I'd love to buy a lot of the games that I play, it's just not possible, I don't think. So, God bless emulation. I don't need the life, whatever. Whatever, I won't die. Okay. Yeah, I used to be addicted to having objects. My big issue was that I ran out of space to have said objects. Oh, that's bad timing. My problem is that, like, I spent a lot of my youth, right? When I first got jobs, the first thing I ever did when I got a job was I'd buy all the consoles and all the games that I could never afford as a kid. I remember the first paycheck I ever got from my job when I was 16. The first thing I did is I ran out and I bought a Sega Saturn. The first thing I did was I went out and I bought a Sega Saturn with about 20 games, and I went home and I played the fuck out of that for a long period of time. And like, let me see, this was about maybe like 2006, maybe 2006, 2007. And ever since then, like, I just buy cool old games that I always wanted when I was a kid, or whatever I learned about by watching, you know, reading about it on the internet or watching cool videos about it. And then as I got older, I started realizing, oh, I kind of need a house to put all this stuff in. And I thought that, like, buying a house would be a really easy, straightforward process, but it turns out that gets harder as time goes on. At least in the modern age, anyway. So, buying games kind of had to take a back seat to that sort of stuff. But I'm okay though. I'm in a good spot now. I can probably start collecting games again and keeping things in places. But either way, to make like YouTube videos like I do, where you kind of have to play any old game at the drop of a hat, especially some games that cost a lot of money to own physically, I think it's completely okay and completely ethical to emulate them. There are people who, like, won't play a game on their channel if they don't own the physical copy, and I get that, that's fine. But, like, you know, don't deprive the world of a cool game or a cool experience just because you don't have 1,000 bucks to give to some dude you don't know on the internet. You're not giving the money to the creators, you know? Ugh. Ugh. Oh, you got a physical of Klonoa? One of my biggest regrets is not buying a physical copy of PS1 Klonoa when I had the chance to do it so many times over the years. And not just standard Klonoa, beach volleyball as well. That game's gotten real expensive too. They used to sell new copies of beach volleyball on Amazon for like £10 for ages. And I was like, oh, I'll never need that. Although I do own a copy of the Wii version of Klonoa, which in itself was also quite pricey. Yeah, I think it's probably better to, like, either do one or two things. Either just purchase the games that you really know you want, because it can get very easy to get swept up and buy lots of games that are cheap that you probably may not want to play. That's when space kind of becomes an issue, where you're just buying anything willy-nilly. That was something that I did. I would go into, like, CEX, and they would sell games for nothing. So you could leave with, like, about a stack of 20 games with maybe the intention of playing one or two of them. And that's not cool. But I do have some really cool, like, gems in my collection. Like, I have a copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga, which is really nice. I have a nice copy of... Why does it keep killing me? I have a copy of Saturn Bomberman. Honestly, most of my rare games are, like, not PS1 games. I have a box copy of Terranigma for the Super Nintendo, which is super sweet. I have a lot of the really expensive GameCube games. Just from buying them years ago when they first came out. Because I like don't sell my games. I have no intention of selling any of my games unless I'm in dire need. So a lot of the games I have that are rare or expensive, it's just because I bought them at the right time. The secret to buying rare and expensive games ahead of time is just by shoot 'em ups. That's the secret. Oh, doing real bad now. Yeah, Rule of Rose is a rough one. I have a copy of Haunting Grounds, though. We had, like, this place over here, which used to be, like, our Blockbuster. It's called Extravision. And when they went out of business, they had, like, this warehouse that they opened up where they're just getting rid of all their old stock. And they were selling things for next to no amount of money. And the amount of weird things that they would pull out into that warehouse. They had, like, copies of Haunting Grounds. I bought at least 2 sealed copies of, like, Beatmania with the DJ mix kit and everything. Like, just random shit that they had lying around. N-Gauges, a box Game Boy Micro for, like, 20 quid. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I mean, the thing about Ireland, right, is Ireland doesn't really have a good charity shop. A good charity shop or retro game scene. Like, you can't just go out thrifting and get really lucky with games over there. The amount of people who like old games in Ireland versus the amount of old games there are is too damn high. You'll always get beaten to the post. You can't just find things willy-nilly because there's always somebody who's quicker than you on the ball. Look, I think it's okay to, like, pay money for a game that you enjoyed from your childhood. If it has, like, sentimental value to you, I think that's fine. Like, I don't even mind paying, like, 50 quid for a game if it's good and I'm gonna play it and get a few hours out of it. The things that I don't really like are paying, like, hundreds for games because I just don't think it's, like, a good investment. The only time I ever did that was with Panzer Dragoon Saga. And I only did that because I got a bonus in my job at the time, which was kind of cool, and I had money to burn, and there was one of them on the shelf in the retro game shop that I went to. And I was like, all right, if not now, when, you know? And I bought Panzer Dragoon Saga for, I think it was €200, right? Which, at the time, was a lot of money. But that ended up being a pretty good investment, all things considered. It is now significantly more expensive than 200. Yeah, I'd say it's quite like that. One of the things, right, moving over to the UK has been quite nice. It's a lot easier to get retro games here very cheap. Because I don't know how it is over in New Zealand as well, but, like, we would almost have to get everything from the UK. And getting anything sent to Ireland was, like, much more expensive on shipping. And since Brexit kicked in, like, shipping to Ireland has gotten really fucking pricey. You have to pay, like, nearly, like, $8 to $10 just to get a game shipped to you from the UK at the moment, which is really bad. Maybe that's why I moved over here, for better retro gaming prices. See, I'm saving money by living here. By the way, I haven't been talking about the game very much. I've been doing very poorly in the past while. I'm gonna lose all those lives I've earned. It's a good thing I have so many. Alright. I was about to say there that I'm gonna be serious about this now. Alright, now I'm gonna be serious about it, okay? Oh, there's no, like, CEX over there? Where would you have to, like, go online to get most of your games? Would you just kind of have to resort to eBay or kind of like some local places? Like, eBay is still really the place to do it for me. What I want to do though, right? Because I have a lot of, I'll say UK Twitter friends, right? There's kind of like a, I guess you could say like a retro Twitter scene for the UK. And I've watched like a lot of their, you know, their Twitter stuff and their YouTube stuff. And they always go to like these conventions. Like conventions just for games, which is crazy to me. We would never have such a thing in Ireland. Like a retro fair or something of that sort. So I want to go to something like that over here when I get the chance. I want to go over there with like a big sack of money, put like a pound sign on it. Oh, this is so bad. I want to go to like a retro game convention with a big sack of money and just buy some like really cool things. Because that's nice. If you're going for like a day out to treat yourself, you know, that's fun. Although I don't know what I'd buy if I ever, like, if I... The problem is I've kind of reached the point where there's not really much that I want to buy now at this stage. Years ago, I really wanted a Neo Geo AES. Because I think the Neo Geo is like the coolest thing ever. And I've had many opportunities in the past to buy one. And I haven't done it. And now I feel like it's just... Time has passed. This is too expensive. Yeah, we did it. At least I think we have. There we go. Whew. Well, that was awful. Oh, that's good. Alright, guys. It's the Great Hall, the hardest level of them all. Yeah, we did it. Yeah. I'll get back to what I want to do, right? Because I'm still kind of getting settled into like working here. I got a job when I came over here pretty quickly, but I already quit the job because it fucking sucked. I got a job. My expertise in life is working in like copyright and licensing. But for some reason, when I got over here, I was like, oh, you know what? I don't know anybody in the UK, so maybe I'll get a nice job where I can get to like talk to people. So I got a job in retail. And then after about like a week or two of working in retail, I was like, holy shit, why did I get a job in retail? This is terrible. So I'm starting my new job in about a week or two. And then I can kind of properly, once I have some money to burn, I guess you could say, I could probably properly get back into collecting. The main thing I need to do is buy some shelves. I want to be able to like there's no point having a nice video game collection if you can't display it nicely. That's really the main thing. If you're gonna have a lot of cool video games, it has to be displayed nicely for the world to see. Because that used to be what it was all about. Back in, like, we had an old house which I used to live with my friends. Well, that was easy. Yeah, I had a house that I used to live in with my friends, and I had like a cool gaming shelf set up. And whenever people came over for parties or sessions or drinks, I'd be like, come on guys, look at the games, look at the cool setup of games. And then we'd play like some Sega Saturn or something for a bit. That's the thing that I miss. Anyway, that was Crash Bandicoot. A classic to this very day. Still really fun to play through. Even if I died, you know, I don't know if I was counting the woe counter. But I died a lot there, let's put it that way. But I still think it was a pretty good time. I will still say though, like this, trying to 100% this game, I think was the hardest OG Crash, the hardest Crash game. Crash 4 makes a mockery of how difficult this is. It is insanely difficult. Yeah. See, I don't know, like even... I don't even know what I'd buy now if I had money to buy games. I feel like, honestly, I feel like this channel in a weird way keeps me so busy. that I feel like I'm getting almost all of the retro game kick I need out of it. What I want to do, right, and I've always said this before, is that if I have money to burn, I'm going to spend a lot of money kind of getting in a decent setup to capture PS2 and stuff like that. You know, get like a nice upscaler, because like I record all my PS1 footage using DuckStation because it's about as good as you can get, really, and it's also super easy to do. But like PS1 and stuff, or sorry, PS2 and stuff, like PS2 emulation isn't at the level I'd want it to be to capture that stuff properly. So I'd want to do the PS2 from like real console and stuff, and I'd like to get like a nice modded one with a hard drive so I could like pluck any game out of thin air. That's the dream. But anyway, it's 20 past 12. I'm sure my fiance would love to go to bed. So I'm going to grant her that wish by stopping playing so I can go to bed. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. It's been a pleasure. We'll probably do this again real soon. When I finish the next video, maybe if I get a chance next week, we can maybe run through Crash Bandicoot 2, which I think probably should be a bit quicker than this one, assuming I don't die as much, which is probably the way to go, you know? Ugh. But look, thanks so much for stopping by, guys. I'm glad that you've joined the chat. Thanks so much for all the nice words. I hope I can fix the chat zone for the lads going forward. That didn't work out as I had planned. I should have a new video out. The Fear Effect one should be out in about, all going well, the next 2 or 3 days. It's gonna be a long one. I will let you know. I hope you like a long video, because this one is especially long. It's either gonna be my best or my worst video, depending on how you feel about the long videos. But yeah, thanks so much for stopping by, guys. Hope you had a great weekend, and I hope you have a great week going forward. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm gonna give you a wave. All the best. Take care.